And one of the things that Princess had been doing to everybody was, may I see a photo ID? Yeah. Driver's license, etc. And this woman says, well, what do I need that for? And I'm not allowed to say anything to the voters. And I, so I bit my tongue. And then she says, well, I'm sorry, ma'am, I have to. She says, well, give me the form first. So let me fill out the form. She yanked it out of her hand. I go, I'm thinking, and finally, she said, well, I still need to see your, she just literally threw it on the table. I said, oh man. Then she goes over to the next table and gives her paperwork. And the woman says, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you already received an absentee ballot. And she says, well, I don't want to use that. I didn't request it anyhow. It was sent to me by one of the parties. She said Democrat, but then she said Democrat over, so I don't know, okay? And I'm thinking, how can you get an absentee ballot without requesting it? And that woman said, well, we have to figure out what we're going to do. We have to follow the rules. She said, well, what are the rules? She said, well, ma'am, we need to follow it. This is something we don't know. We have to look it up. They flipped them through the pages, and they finally made a telephone call. And so, well, you're going to have to surrender your absentee ballot before you're allowed to have another ballot. And she went ballistic. She was 7 o'clock already. I don't know how close the woman lived. And she's ranting and raving. And now this was a young woman too. So she then switched to another woman, white hair, an older lady. And she's like, talking about old times. Apparently she had been a poll worker at one time. Talked and talked and talked. Then went over to the poll captain. Talked. Kept pointing over there. She wanted to know the names of those people who didn't want to let her vote. So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of complaint. But long after the poll captain called the, whatever they call it, the precinct clerk or town clerk or whatever, she filled out some forms, she signed some, and she was actually given another ballot. I don't know if that's right or not, but I was really upset the way she treated that young lady, and I just wanted to, I really wanted to say something, but my tongue still hurts. Anybody else has any more comments at all? Yes.
I was reading in the social contract, dealing with this, I didn't know who was going to be speaker, I'm a new person. Reading the social contract, that the very word racism was in currency with the communists under Leon Trotsky. They were conversant and used that word racism in a slightly different context, but not much difference in what it is being used today. It was used against the imperial government of Russia to destroy the whole system of that country. And that's how the word racism was created. And these guys, Leon Trotsky, a brilliant individual, was very familiar with this word racism. And the Democrats and others have picked this word up and use it for a destructive and meaningless use and destructive use of the English language. But nobody, or rarely few people, will know the origin of this word racism. And when people reject it offhand, they are doing it with with a lot of wisdom at hand. Thank you.
Excellent. Back during the Russian Revolution?
Right.
I didn't remember seeing that when I watched Dr. Zhivago. I do remember that. But no, that's an interesting piece of fact there. Anybody else? Over here I saw, yes.
I was just wondering if, having sat down for a while, if Reverend Yuille would be able to comment about education, public education in America, and what that is doing.
I'm certain that he would have some things. I want to be careful of his voice. I think he touched on it. Are you all right? Okay. I want you to stay sitting down.
1 minute. Benjamin Rush, the founding father, said if you ever took the Bible out to do great folly to America. Noah Webster said the same thing. Martin Luther said if you had a school system without the Bible, it was the gates to hell. And that's just where we are in our educational system. It's the gates to hell.
Very good.
How many people are part of or go to your school board meetings? How many people are on the school board? How many people are considering? One of the things we've got to do in this next year is we've got to get local. All right. By the way, one of those local things is the Holland City Council and Park Township. And I assume there's something similar here in Zeeland, although I don't know if they've had any issues other than repairing Huizinga Road. I don't know. We've got to get local. And this is something, it's coming at us from all sides. It's coming at us from Islam. It's coming at us from Christianity. It's coming at us from Congress. It's coming at us from taxes. And there's so much stuff. Make the world go away. Anyhow, I'm gonna conclude this meeting by thanking all of you for being here. Linda's got one more last thing.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody is on Eric Cantor's UCUT email, but Eric Cantor recently sent out an email asking if we wanted to be part of the transparency program he's got, and also he's looking for ideas from the general public. So I would really suggest that you get on Eric Cantor's email so we can actively
Put it up there.
involved.
You're right here tonight.
I'll-
All right, that does conclude our meeting for this evening.